always tell the truth. So it's the mind, it's the child of the narcissist whose mind is so trained not to see it. And I have successfully, I now see it. So I've been with the heavyweights and now I'm just sparring. So it's like three guys in 2024, and that should be the end of it for now. So any man that wants to come into my life is not going to be bombastic, nor is he going to be controlling. And I got one of each at the end of 2024 to sample. The bombastic one is the oyster guy, and the controller was Mr. Bumble, a la Mr. Magoo. The truth of the matter is there's an awful lot of broken men out there and broken women who are messed up in the head and programmed by their childhood will attract them. So we're not going to take it lying down anymore, are we, girls? No. We know what we've been through. We know we've been in the front line. And then we come back and we want to be able to like rest on our laurels, meaning recover from the turmoil, and then you have people telling you something must be wrong with you. No, there's so much right with us. Be gone, oh toxic demonic troll. So I'm taking time out to decenter men, of course. Decentering men from your life means that you are not going to change yourself to be in their life, period. Which is they want you to jump here. Oh, I want you to go do Sunday rather than Saturday. Or in the case of the oyster guy, I want you to do breakfast. I want you to come cycling with me. I learned how to skate backwards just so you feel comfortable on quads and you're going to come roller skating with me. No, I'm not stepping into your world. I've done that. It's no good for me. It's no good for me. I am not stepping into a man's topsy-turvy world. I am not being their cheerleader. No. So I've been through so much that when I meet these guys like Mr. Bumble, the controller, probably the emotionally deficient husband who drove his wife into depression. He told me she was really depressed. I read on her eulogy, she was taking and going to the pharmacy and fulfilling her prescription every month. And the pharmacist's assistant, whomever it was that she went to get her pills from, went to her funeral or wrote on her page for her eulogy. It's all online. It's all right there. And it was a tragic death. And he himself said, suicide cuts deep. Without him being honest, they always tell you the truth. And he really tried to breadcrumb me. I reread the text messages and I could see it so clearly. And that's when I realized he drove his last wife crazy. And she slit her wrists in the bathtub and he found her. And she left a suicide note that said, I hope you're satisfied now. That's a little storyline. That's for any of you young scriptwriters out there. It's a good story. Thusly, this is where I say goodbye and wish you all the best. Cheers! Party! Everybody! I did it! I resisted. The love-starved child, the adult child of a narcissist is growing up. I didn't take the bait. And he says, I completely understand. All the best to you too. He now understands. Yes! So yeah. You may not be my destiny, but it was enjoyable walking alongside you for a short while. Ciao. I guess that didn't mean goodbye to him. That may have meant hello or touche. Maybe he knows Italian better than I do. But to me, it meant goodbye. And he goes, thank you for sharing that. If you find yourself in need of a friend to accompany you to another festival in the future, please keep me in mind. So he wants to be needed. So he's like, if you find yourself in need of a friend, in other words, I'm going to breadcrumb you because I've already stated we don't have a future together. I don't see you as a partner. But now I'm saying to you, if you find yourself in need of a friend to accompany you to another festival in the future, please keep me in mind. That's called a breadcrumb, my friend. But a breadcrumb is a crummy thing, and it leads you to a crummy circumstance and a crummy relationship. It falls apart because it's not built on his actually seeing your integrity. He's breadcrumbing you. But there's also the truth of the matter that he omitted things that I gave him the opportunity to speak about. I found out, you do a background check on men before you meet them. I do. And so I knew a lot about this person. And I knew he'd been an extra in a movie. And I saw the clip on YouTube. And he was just this guy that was on the park bench. No, I am not willing to be your friend. Thanks for asking. I am not willing to accept the offer to rely upon him for somebody to accompany me. No, I would go alone. Par chance I met some cool single guy. Why would I drag this guy along? Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. They like each other, but then boy rejects girl, and then girl says, okay, that's it then, bye. And then boy regrets it and comes back to girl, but girl's already moved on. I mean, that would be real life. But in Hollywood, tragedy, also known as a romantic comedy, they would have them like her like dysfunctionally fall for him and go back to him. And then he would treat her like SHIT. This is one of my favorite sweaters, and eventually those holes will become big enough to become fashion statements, and then I can do this special sewing around them that makes it look intentional. You remember that fashion statement where everybody had their deltoid out? Well, wouldn't it make more sense to have the armpit open already? Designers, armpits. We need to have open armpits. I want a man who will cook dinner beside me, not the man who says, I'll cook for you if you clean the dishes. No deal. I will cook for you, and you clean the dishes, motherfucker. Or how about this? We both cook something together and we both clean up after ourselves. Yeah? I like that idea even better. It's egalitarian. But anyway, I'm extrapolating myself on these relationships. And the more I thought about Mr. Bumble, the more I saw his passive aggressiveness as well, and his manipulative control, the way he steered me around the wide open bluegrass, way he always looked over at me to be like, hey, let's move now. The look I saw in his eye once, which was cruel. The way when we went to the film festival, He waited for me in his car. He got there first. I told him I was shooting for 3. I got there at 2:45. He'd already been there and scattered out the whole thing. That's control. That's not protective. That's control. That's not, hey, let's see. So I'm like, why would I want to be with a man whose soup and his cans are always probably facing the same direction? In his, like, it just freaked me out. When I went into the film festival, and he'd been texting me, and I thought I'd wait for him outside, and up he comes trotting. I had stood on the stairwell, looking around long enough for him to get out of his truck and come flag me down and say, hey. But he told the truth. And he goes, when I asked him, hey, you're here already, and you scouted it out? You actually went inside and talked to everybody and learned where all the rooms are, realized that we couldn't find the film, and it was a film called Sorry, We're Dead. And he says to me, oh, I was observing you and stalking. And then he laughs. They always tell the truth. I just started thinking about it, like, whoa, he probably has control issues. And then I go, oof. I did everything right after telling him in a text that I was available on Saturday and looking to do something with him. I don't hear from him. And then he says, I'm available on Sunday. That's what he says. And I go, I'm not. I'm not changing my plans for you. Yeah, you can see them. And then he breaks it off. Of course he does. I didn't fall for the bait. They have to break it off in order to act like they are in control. And then what does he do? He breadcrumbs me. And after I said it was nice walking beside you for a short while, he then says, well, if you'd like somebody to accompany you in the future, please reach out. Ding. So you see it all like there, you see it all. And when you see it, you're like, whoa, I was just playing this charade. You fall into the game because as an empath, there's a projection that they present to you. There's this whole thing. And my body, again, I was with him and I got the most terrifically awful lower back ache. So this Mr. Oyster, it's in the upper neck, and with Mr. Bumble, it's in the lower back. So I'm taking time out to decenter men, of course, and just rewriting my profile. And as long as I don't swipe right, I don't get anybody, sniffing up my skirt or wasting my time. Decentering men from your life means that you are not going to change yourself to be in their life, period. They always tell the truth. So it's the mind, it's the child of the narcissist whose mind is so trained not to see it. And I have successfully, I now see it. The oyster guy, when I saw him after our night, he actually tried to kiss me on the lips. And I said, no, the cheek. Just give me a hug and kiss me right here. That's good. Just greet me like the French and the Spanish, all right? Yeah, if a man tries to kiss you on the lips right away, girls, that's a boundary violation. That's a red flag. Nobody does that. Someone that wants to push it through. And then later in the text at the end, when finally the oyster guy got my drift that, hey, no, I'm closed. He goes, all relationships start off frenetic and chaotic. What? Not the kind of relationship I want to be in. Frenetic. He's a lawyer. Frenetic. No. They don't. One of the ones doomed to failure to last because it's going to kill one of the people's in it. And instead he got the twisted ankle. So the last thing they want to know is what you think, and the other is what you feel, and the other is what you believe. They don't care about you at all. They're living in their own reality. And if you don't want to belong, there's something wrong with you. It's like, oh my goodness, no, please. And that's what I've come to realize, what decentering men means to me, because I feel so much more relaxed. Oh my goodness. So I will only start out a relationship with a man who's interested in deep discussions about life. Because if he can't go there, I don't want to go to the end of my life with him. The tell with Mr. Magoo is that he goes, I was observing you and stalking, and then he laughed. That's the tell. He was observing me and stalking. This was Mr. Magoo, aka Mr. Bumble, also known as the controller, the potential narcissist. You know, you defend your right to live with a narcissist, okay? Your very existence is questionable with them. One who possibly was so emotionally removed from his life and from his wife that her depression isn't what killed her. He said, suicide cuts deep. I bet she slit her wrists in the tub and he came home and found her. And that's why he can't talk about it. I bet you that's what happened. Ooh. I am so sorry if she killed herself, because in her eulogy pages, the pharmacist's assistant said that she saw her every month for 2 years when she came to get her prescription filled. So he wasn't getting her meds for her, so obviously she wasn't dying of cancer if she went every month. And he wouldn't talk about it. It was the big elephant in the room he refused to talk about. And then he breadcrumbed me by, I had told him, this is my available time. Friday I'm available this time. Saturday I'm available this time. And that was it. And then he comes back and he goes, I can see you Sunday evening. And I said, I'm not available. And then he comes back with, I don't see you in my future. So this is, I want you to know that you're a wonderful person. Yeah, right. And then that's when I said, well, it was nice walking beside you for a little while, because it was. I like being with a man. I'm treated with a lot of respect. He's treated with a lot of respect when he's with me. When I'm with a man, he's treated with great respect by the waitstaff. I noticed that. So I am something of a force when I'm with a man. It's a wonderful thing. But who is going to walk beside me? That's going to be one special man. And it's not going to be, again, a man whose life I'm fitting into. It's a man who fits into mine. That's what Decentering Men's all about. There's his, and there's hers, and there's ours, theirs. Yeah, my life is full. He fits into my life. That's what Decentering Men's all about. And it's about time. You know what I mean? I wanted to sew that story up, because this is storytelling and relationships and all. Observations. Looking back, 2020 vision and then some. And what I have learned along the way. I had one partner, but actually quite a few of them, they always wanted me to answer questions with a yes or a no. It's like, there is no yes and no. There's a maybe. There's a, what are you getting at? What's the question behind the question? It infuriates them. Narcissists only see in black and white. The world is a stage in a lot of ways. But remember, you're the main attraction to your own life. Remember that.
I'll be fine here, watching the rain fall. I'll be fine here, just hanging around. I'll be fine here, by the window. I'll be fine.
You get to be you now. I get to be me now. We're narc abuse escapees, and now we see so clearly the forest for the trees. Talk to you all later. Much love. Oh, I would go alone. Part chance I met some cool single guy. Why would I drag this guy along? Thing, but who is going to walk beside me? That's going to be one special man. Decentering men from your life means that you are not going to change yourself to be in their life. Period.